Actually, the reason I'm here is for 35 bucks and I can eat for a year. I think I'm going to join. Well, thank you all. I'm Steve Glenn. It's nice to be here. And it's interesting that when they said they were looking for a speaker to tell about the 10 mistakes, they looked to me, you know, when you're a professional at making mistakes. But actually, I am a serial entrepreneur. Over my life, I've had about 46 businesses. So I like to start businesses. And let me tell you, the one thing that I've observed of myself in business, and a lot of you as business people will probably shake your head yes, is if you're in business as a small business, I've never started a business for the money. The reason I start a business is for the hunt. So what is the hunt? You tell me. What is the hunt for you?
The thrill of succeed.
Okay, the thrill of succeeding, taking an idea and make it successful. There's nothing more fulfilling as a business person than to be able to take an idea, a concept, and make it successful. And success often is measured by the profitability of it. It has to be profitable. But what I put down together is I started off with 10 big mistakes that entrepreneurs make. And I started my list, and I even added 4 today, didn't I, Paul? But actually started with 10, got to 12, and ended up with 17. So I've got a lot of ideas. And I'd like for you to throw out ideas as we go along here. I'd like this to kind of be a two-way discussion because that's the fun part of a business. Before I start, I will tell you how I got started 25 years ago. This is very interesting when I look back. 25 years ago, there was no Travelocity, there was no Facebook. Guess how a secretary made a letter or a document? Anybody know? A typewriter. We started our business and we walked around to companies in Lincoln, Nebraska, and we said, Miss Secretary, here is a computer. You can do your word processing on this computer. And oh, by the way, did you know you can also make your travel reservations on this same computer? 25 years ago, we were one of the first internet travel companies in the world. And that's how we got business. We literally gave them a free $2,500 computer to make their travel reservations. So we did that for dozens and dozens of companies. And that was fun because we were able to bring into the marketplace a product that could save them time and money. And with that, we grew and grew and grew. And even this year, the thing that's so fun about this business, this year, we anticipate our business will double. To me, I can't even fathom. It's going to double in a recession. So our business model today is even better than it was 25 years ago. So that's the fun part of the business. Now what I'm going to share with you are some of the ideas, some of the mistakes, and I'd like your suggestions along the way. My number one point as far as mistakes that entrepreneurs or business people make is they forget the most important thing in business, and that is cash is king. When you run out of cash, what do you have to do? Okay? When you run out of borrowing, what do you have to do? You close the door. Okay? For all the businesses that have closed in Lincoln and Nebraska and the U.S., what is their problem? They ran out of cash. Okay? I mean, it's very, when you think about that process, cash is king. Now, what entrepreneurs is, what do we often deal with our business from? Our heart or our head? I have an idea. It comes from the heart. I have a passion for it. So I drive and I drive and I drive, and our people in our company drive and drive and drive. Sometimes I forget to use my head, which says, oh, you better look about this. Look at cash flow. Look at receivables. Look at inventory. Look at all these things. So be very, very careful about, as an entrepreneur, make sure you have people in your company that are driven by their head more than their heart. The entrepreneur drives from here. Usually the CFO or the controller drives from here. So it's a beautiful balance when you can get people in your company that can make sure that you do and drive your business from that. Now, one of the things I noticed during this recession is to deal with cash flow, you have to deal with that far in advance. For example, I have some companies, and I didn't go to them. We know that in February we're going to have cash flow issues for a manufacturing company that I have. There's more bills coming in and not all the receivables come in. Guess when I approached the banker? This month? December? October? How about July? In July I went to the banker and I say, in February I'm going to have a cash flow problem. I need a line of credit. What does that banker think about me? Tell me, what does he think about me? He knows what his business is, okay? Is he more apt to loan me money in July, or if I go to him today and say, next week I need $200,000 because I have a cash flow problem? He's going to go, shouldn't this guy have known this 6 months ago? So realize that bankers are in the position. Are any bankers here? Come on, there's got to be a banker here somewhere. Bankers are not in a position to take risk. So you remove risk. And when you remove risk, they're more apt to loan you money. So it's very straightforward. Now, the other thing that I've noticed related to finance is you really have to know the numbers. You have to know your numbers very well. For example, it's interesting when I tell our employees and I say, ladies and gentlemen, do you know when I come in and put the key in the door in the morning, we have to sell $75,000 in travel that day to pay to open the door. Okay? I know that number. I know if we don't sell $75,000, it was a bad day. I know when we sell $125,000, it was a good day. But the point is, you have to know the numbers. And you have to know them in the detail so that you can literally gauge and manage your business, which goes to my next point. A lot of people are precise in their numbers, but they're not accurate. Meaning, my wife's a perfect example. Okay, my wife started the business with me. She's an accountant. She has an accountant. She's a bean counter, and she'd be proud to tell you that too. She knows numbers, and they are exact. When she says you have $1,322.62, you have that. I guarantee you, you have that. But when I look through the monthly statements, and I can literally look through a monthly statement and in 60 seconds say there's something wrong here. Okay? And she'll say the numbers are accurate. Well, they are accurate, but there's something wrong. For example, a salary might be overstated or something on the balance sheet that I know. I'll know, for example, for a hardware store that I have, for example, I'll know the average margin is 42%, or what, I'm making these numbers up. 42%, let's say. And if I sell $100,000, what should my revenue be? $42,000. So if you look at an income statement and it doesn't show roughly $42,000, you got a problem. There's something that needs to be managed. Either your margins need to be managed or something. Your inventory went out the back door, something. And then when you look at expenses, you know it cost you $40,000 a month in expenses with salaries. So literally, in 10 seconds, you could say 100,000 equals 42,000 minus 40, there's $2,000 in profit. In 10 seconds, you know your business. You have to know your business, and don't forget about the financials. CPAs, any CPAs here? No CPAs. Make sure you get a good CPA, because they're going to help you set up good systems, and systems that are very precise and accurate. Okay. Now, number 3 I have. Don't let the world prevent you from seeing opportunity. This is amazing. Today, there is more opportunity. You know, everybody's down in the mouth about recession, about this and that. Guess what is happening today greater than has happened last year? You tell me.
Business starts.
Business starts. Perfect example. Why are there business starts? If you don't have a job, you're going to say, how do I make money? The best thing that ever happened to some people is they get fired. Why? They would never start a business. They would never leave the security of the job to start a business. The best thing that can happen to some people. I have a friend who 15 years ago got fired, and he hated the guy that fired him. And I'm thinking, he went and started his own business. Today, he hates the guy that fired him, and it was the best thing that ever happened to him. He started his own business.